Right, hello guys, as you see, Battlefield 4 right here. I've got Battlefield 4 on because I was testing it out on this Warlock PC build overview, which I'm going to post very shortly, also announcing the winner for that. But what I wanted to talk about today as well is Battlefield 5 is obviously coming up, and I'm curious what kind of content I'm going to make. Now, of course, I can continue overviewing the game and the company and the industry like I always do. However, you know, I used to do some series back in Battlefield 3 called Battlefield Thought for the Day, which was basically where I post short clips of incidents that occur whilst playing Battlefield, and it could be a tactical thing, it could be a team related thing, it could be anything along these lines, just something small of note which can be helpful and constructive for you guys, kind of like, you know, weekly tips or something along those lines. Now, what is coming up very shortly is one of those, well, two of those actually, two things that I noted during the gameplay I was playing. These were things which happened without me really thinking about it. It's the kind of thing that I just generally always would do, and then later I was like, oh, you know what, this is actually worthwhile pointing out to people, kind of like beginner guides, top tips, all that kind of stuff. Now, another thing I used to do in Battlefield, of course, was round breakdowns, full round breakdowns. This is where I play a full round of Battlefield, hopefully not longer than half an hour, and I would basically narrate over it, explain to you my thought process as the round progressed, and discuss whether it was a positive, a negative outcome, what could have been done better, what could I have done better, what could the team have done better. Generally try to assess what was going on. Now, some people always used to say, Luton, what's the point of this? I just find it generally interesting. I always find it interesting to kind of assess, look at what's happening in around, and think about why people are doing what they're doing. It helps you formulate an opinion and, you know, take note of what is happening in the community. Why are people making certain decisions? It also enables you to help understand other players, which can then be to your benefit when you're doing micro tactics and all this kind of thing. Now, right here I'm playing Conquest Metro. Obviously it's only 24 because that's where I want to be at on this. I don't want to be playing fucking 64. So we're playing 24. Now, what's happening right here? We've been sort of, you can see it's actually fairly balanced right now. You know, we're winning for sure, but you know, it's still relatively balanced. They could easily bring this back if they were to push us back again. Now we're taking control of B right here. We're trying to secure this, and then we're going to move on. But the enemy team, actually, you know, this guy here has been a hassle for me. He's been playing really, really well. But what I used to do in the Thought for the Day series was not just discuss what was happening, but why I was doing it, what my thought process was. So right now, we just got pushed outside. We got pushed back to A. And whilst we could try and cap B, which is what 99% of people are going to try and do, that's not what you want to do in that situation. And that's why I start to push past. Now, another thing to note is this guy. So I encounter this guy and I take him out. But this is really, really important. The reason you want to push past B is because if you go on to B, you're facing their entire team. I took that momentary opportunity to push past. Now, I neutralized that guy, but then I don't want to go straight onto C, which is why I go to here. This is where I figured was a safe position to sort of wait for a moment. The reason is, if I go onto C and start capping it, the enemy team are going to immediately see that we are starting to cap C. They're going to pull back or spawn there, and it's going to make it much more difficult for us to steal that base from between them so that we actually have like a leverage point. The other thing I did was tell my squad to spawn on me, which unbelievably they do. I don't know these guys, never met these guys, we're not on comms, but they spawn on me, they get it, they understand what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so here we are, we come in and we secure it. Now, because we've got more people here, we have a much better chance of taking the flag. That one guy who we've killed, he obviously knows we're back here, but again, the fact that I didn't go straight onto the flag means that that guy maybe figures, did somebody else kill me? Are we around there? What's going on? So that little tip is actually quite important because, like I say, it could have gone a different way. You know, I could have just run straight in onto the flag. It wouldn't have been necessary. Cap the flag, no problem at all. But what I was thinking about right there was that was a pivotal moment. I played enough of these rounds, enough of these conquest and domination rounds to know that sometimes you only get one opportunity, especially on a map like this, like Metro, where you're fairly bottlenecked. You know, if they pushed us out onto A and we couldn't even get back into the building at a certain point in time, even though we have a lead in terms of tickets, look, right now, we've only got a 25 ticket lead. It's not very much. So making sure that we kept that flag was really, really important. And I didn't want to just throw myself onto it, then have that guy luckily snipe me or I fuck it up or whatever. You know, go in there with my guys, hope that we have a much better chance of securing it, because it was very important that we did that. Okay, now, the next one, right here. So we've been securing them, we've pushed them back, and you can see, look, we've ruined them from where we were a minute ago in terms of tickets. Look, we've dominated them. Now, what's happening here is I noticed that B and A have started to get capped. Now, look, I don't really need to rush back here, but like I've said many times before, you know, a round is never over. I've seen so many rounds of Battlefield get lost because the enemy team had a really high ticket lead and they thought they had it in the bag, and then they just don't even bother to go and defend flags, and then, you know, maybe they lose it, maybe they win it, but I've seen it become very, very contentious. Another small little note right here, again, same as before, I was going in on my own, Then suddenly noticed my friend is coming with me, my teammate, my squad mate right here. So I was like, okay, I'll just take 1 second to wait for that guy to come in with me, because that way 2 pairs of eyes, cover, if, you know, even if I go down, he's going to be able to pick off the other guy, maybe. But critically, the thing is, this could have happened at any point in a round. It could have been midway through a round. I've seen way too many games where in the middle of a round, you've got the enemy team controlled, you think you've got it in the bag, and then 1 or 2 people flank you, push through, they manage to start capping from behind, and before your guys on your team have even noticed what's happening, you've been completely back capped. It's really, really important to pay attention to what is going on in your flags, and as soon as you start to notice that they are gone, you get back there, and even if you can't take the flag, you start to engage it, you start to take control, you start to put pressure, because then that means the enemy team can't just immediately steamroll push into you and try and push back against that. It means that your guys maybe have enough time to notice what's going on and then get in on it. That's my 2 little tips for the day. So tell me if you guys enjoyed this, drop a like if you enjoyed it, and if you want some thought for the day, full round breakdowns, tell me, and maybe that's what we'll have for Battlefield 5. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.